Welcome to our biweekly budget or custom budget Google Sheets instruction video. If you haven't purchased the sheet yet, you can find the purchase link in the description below. We made the Google Sheet with 4 different color themes. Each theme is designed to make the sheet easy to read. You can pick the theme you like best based on your preference. The budget sheet has 2 tabs. First, we have the Instructions tab. In this tab, you'll find detailed instructions on how to use the sheet. Next, we have the Budget tab, where you manage your budget. It's a good idea to make a copy of the Google Sheet before you start. This way, you'll have a backup in case something goes wrong or if you want to start fresh later. To create a copy, click the File menu and choose Make a Copy. In the dialog box, enter a name for the sheet and click the Make a Copy button. This will create a duplicate of the sheet with the name you provided. You can close the copied sheet to keep it untouched for future use. Now, let's see each tab in detail. In the Instructions tab, you will find all the details of how to use the sheet. Each section of the sheet is explained with a screenshot. You will also find a link to see what the filled-out spreadsheet looks like. This filled-out sheet can be used as a reference at any time. Additionally, you will find a link to a tutorial video on how to use the spreadsheet, which will be helpful if you need any assistance. Next, let's see how to use the Budget tab. Before using the sheet, we need to set the currency. To set the currency, go to cell D7 and type your currency symbol. The Budget tab is where you manage your budget. Start by listing your income, bills, expenses, debts, and savings. Then, set your expected income and budget for each category. Use the Transaction section to record your income, expenses, bill payments, debt payments, and savings. The actual values will be automatically calculated from your transactions and shown in the right sections. We can start by entering all your expected income. Go to the Income section and enter all your income sources and expected amounts under the Budget column. You can enter up to 14 income details in the sheet. Let me enter a few income details. Next, move to the Bills section. This section lists all the recurring bills you expect to pay during the budget period. Bills could include rent, utilities such as electricity, water, gas, internet, phone bills, insurance, subscriptions, and other regular payments. Each bill is listed in the first column of the Bills section. In the Budget column, estimate how much you expect to spend on each bill. This helps you set expectations for your total bills for the budgeting period. You can enter up to 40 bill details in the section. Let me enter a few bills in the section. Next is the Expenses section, where you list all the expenses you expect during the budget period. Expenses can be groceries, transportation, entertainment, and other regular or occasional spending. Each expense category is listed in the first column of the Expenses section. In the Budget column, estimate how much you expect to spend on each expense category. This helps you plan your total expenses for the budget period. You can enter up to 40 expense categories in the section. Let me enter a few expenses in the section. Next is the Debt section. Here, list all the debts or loans you owe. Debts can include credit card balances, student loans, car loans, personal loans, or any other outstanding debts. Each debt category is listed in the first column of the Debts section. In the Budget column, plan how much money you intend to allocate to each debt category. You can enter up to 20 debts in the section. Let me enter a few debts in the section. The last section is the Savings section, where you record all your savings goals and contributions. Savings can include emergency funds, retirement savings, investments, or any other financial goals. Each savings goal is listed in the first column of the Savings section. You can enter up to 15 savings categories in the section. Let me enter a few savings in the section. So far, we've defined our expected income, expenses, bills, debt payments, and savings. If you think your income, expenses, bills, debt payments, and savings will stay the same for each budgeting period. You can save this tab as a template. Each time, you can copy and use it again. To do that, first, rename the tab to Template. Right-click on the sheet, select Rename and change the name to Template. Now, you can copy the Template tab each time, so you don't have to enter all your budgeting details every time. To copy the tab, right-click on the template sheet and select the duplicate option. A copy of the template tab will be created. Before using the sheet, we need to set the budgeting period. The budgeting period can be anything. You can set it to biweekly, monthly, or even for a week. To set the budgeting period, go to cell D5, double-click, and select a date from the calendar. To enter the end date, go to cell D6, double-click, and select a date from the calendar. You can rename the tab based on the budgeting period. For example, if your budgeting period is the first 2 weeks of July 2024, then you can rename it as July 2024 first. For the next 2 weeks, you can rename it as July 2024 second. The names given are just examples. You can name the tab whatever makes sense to you. Now, we are all set to use the sheet. Whenever you receive or pay money, you have to make an entry in the transaction section. To make an entry, first, enter the date of the transaction by double-clicking on the date column. A calendar will open where you can select a date. Next, select the type of the transaction. When you receive your salary, select Income from the drop-down and select Salary under the category column. In the last column, you can enter the amount. Let me enter a few expenses in the section. The amount entered in the transaction section is added and copied into the actual column of the income section. You can enter multiple entries for a category. For example, you can enter an amount for the miscellaneous category. All the amounts are added and copied into the expense section. Similarly, you can enter all your bill payments, debt payments, and payments made for your savings in the transaction section. At the top of the sheet, we can find total values for income, bill payments, expenses, debt payments, and savings. Whenever we make an entry in the transaction section, these values are automatically updated. Below that, there are a few charts designed to show how your money is coming in and going out. These charts will help you understand your financial situation and see how much money you have left to spend. There is a pie chart that shows how your money was spent or saved during the budget period. This chart gives a clear visual representation of your spending habits and savings, making it easy to see where most of your money is going. Additionally, there is a bar chart that compares your budgeted amounts with the actual amounts for various categories, including income, expenses, bill payments, debt payments, and savings. The bar chart provides a straightforward way to track your financial goals and make necessary adjustments. At the bottom of the sheet, there are a couple of pie charts that provide a detailed breakdown of your bill payments and expenses. One pie chart shows how your bills were paid, giving you a clear visual of the proportion of your total bills that went to different categories like rent, utilities, and subscriptions. The other pie chart illustrates how you made your expenses, helping you see the distribution of your spending across various categories such as groceries, transportation, and entertainment. These charts offer a quick and easy way to understand your spending patterns and identify areas where you might need to adjust your budget. We hope this video helps you make the most of the sheet. Thank you for watching.